What's up, and welcome to Overtime with the Daily Aztec. I'm David Pope. With me, as always, is sports editor Edward Lewis. Today we're previewing San Diego State's 2009 football season. So, Edward, obviously the big story this offseason was the hiring of head coach Brady Hoke. Brings in a new added emphasis on toughness in the running game. You've been out of practice all summer. What have you seen?
I've seen a lot of change. Brady Hoke's preached it all in the offseason. He's preached toughness and tenacity. And I've seen that out there on the football field. I've seen the players wanting to be out there. I've seen them sprint faster. I've seen them run to different drills. I've seen them compete. Last year with Chuck Long was a more lackadaisical approach. People were just out about having fun and more of a team unity environment. But with Brady Hoke out there, you can already see it within the first couple weeks of training camp that this team means business. They're changing.
Right. Now, obviously, a lot of questions are going to be surrounding the offensive, defensive lines. A lot of work to go there, as Coach Hoke has said. One place that the Aztec fans can rely on, one position, is the quarterback with Ryan Lindley. Had a great freshman season, solid to say the least. He's coming back poised for an outstanding year as a sophomore. What do you expect out of Lindley this year?
I expect a big season. Ryan Lindley's got a big arm. He's a big quarterback. He's tall. He's got the mobility, the strength. He can do everything you need from a star quarterback. I talked to Coach Al Borges, the new offense coordinator, and new quarterbacks coach Brian Syke. Both of them told me he has NFL potential. Coach Borges even went as far as to say he has that first-round material, like he's coached in the past with Jason Campbell and Cade McNown and Kyle Bowler. So yeah, I look for Ryan Lindley to have a big season, especially with all those wide receiver and that talent depth that they have at the skill position spots.
Right, and as the recent NFL drafts have showed, the Aztecs have no shortage of talent at the wide receiver position. So he obviously has the weapons. Aztecs compete in the Mountain West Conference. Obviously, it's a league that's gained a lot of notoriety and legitimacy the past couple of years with Utah, BYU, and TCU. But under those big three, there's a real drop-off, and the Aztecs can really be competitive. What do you want to see out of the Aztecs in their Mountain West Conference schedule?
I would just want to see them be competitive. They have to beat the teams they're supposed to beat and play well against the teams they're, quite frankly, not supposed to beat. You have an easy non-conference schedule. It's probably one of the easiest SDCU's seen in the past couple of years. You have Southern Utah, Idaho, and New Mexico State, two of which are at Qualcomm Stadium. You got to take care of business there. In the Mountain West Conference, you have Colorado State, Wyoming, and UNLV that are all winnable games. You win those, plus those non-conference games, you have a great shot at bowl eligibility this season.
Right, out-of-conference schedule, a lot of winnable games. One game that's definitely going to be a reach for the Aztecs is when they open up September 5th against UCLA up at the Rose Bowl. We'll be traveling to cover that game for the DA. Edward, if you're a die-hard Aztec football fan, you're coming off a 2-10 season, it's going to be a game on TV against a Pac-10 opponent. What do you want to see out of your team if you're a die-hard Aztec fan?
You don't necessarily need to see it on scoreboard. UCLA is a big Pac-10 opponent. They're a big-time squad. You don't necessarily need to see a win in the Rose Bowl. All you need to see is change on the field. You have to see tenacity in blocks. You have to see running the ball ability. You have to see run defense. And you have to see that thing that Coach Hoke has preached all season long, which is toughness. And if you get that, regardless of what the score at the Rose Bowl says, you've won. You've done well for your team.
Right. So as I've said, the Daily Aztec will be traveling to that game to give you full coverage. Check out thedailyaztec.com during the game for Edward's live game blog for updates and injury reports. And then check back on Monday in the paper on campus as well as the internet. We're going to have full coverage including the features, the game stories, everything you need to know. So, for Edward Lewis and our man behind the camera as always, Glenn Connelly, I'm David Pope, and thank you for clicking that button to watch us.